Man, March 25th, man. Fucking ready, bro. We're fucking pumped, man. I can't fucking wait. Super excited, man. We've been working extremely hard for this. You know, this is a fight we've all known has been coming for a long, long time. I feel like it couldn't happen at a better time. That's a motherfucking dead man walking right there.
Thank God you made it to the fucking press conference. You made it to the fight.
And March 25th, you didn't see what's up, motherfuckers. You didn't see what's up. All that shit talking can't save you no more. We keep, I made it to my fucking fights too. I don't got no losses. I still got more knockouts than you.
Shut up.
Shut up. You know, I got a lot of respect for you. Don't look at me like that.
Stop acting tough, man.
Fuck
you know
you.
you're not like that.
Who not like that? Who not like that? Who not like that? You better calm the fuck down too. Like you ain't get knocked the fuck out.
You should be telling him thank you.
And what?
You should be telling him thank you for statement.
No,
Stop, man.
Man, you guys didn't see what's up. You didn't see what's up. You didn't see what's up.
You're not scary.
I'm gonna knock you the fuck out.
You're not scary to me.
Let me see.
A lot of yip yap.
What? What?
When two former champions stand in close proximity,
the animus between these two guys is real.
bodies emanating hatred, eyes narrowed, fists clenched.
We call it bad blood. Two fighters can't stand each other. It's a grudge match.
Usually, it's because they simply don't like each other.
I guarantee you I'm gonna knock Caleb Pound out before round 6. Guaranteed.
But sometimes blood feuds signify something deeper.
Let me get, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Let him finish.
An urgency that must
Right here. Why you
must
whispering?
be fulfilled.
He's so mad.
I'm so mad. I'm about to beat the fuck out you.
David Benavidez is your favorite fighter's favorite fighter.
I got 3 fucking belts right now. I'm what you wanna fucking be.
Undefeated, heavy-handed, action-packing.
Benavidez unloading with blistering combinations.
But the slowing of the Mexican monster's sky-high ambitions only heightened his urgency to capitalize on his vast potential.
I feel like this is the perfect timing for me in my career and in my life. I have something to prove.
Caleb Plant scrapped to the pinnacle.
That will go on the top of Plant's highlight reel.
Stared down the brightest of lights.
This ain't my first big fight.
And showed out on the grandest of stages.
Valiant effort by Caleb Plant. Guy fought his heart out.
But satisfied? Not even close.
You can say that I've made it, but Hava, I don't feel that.
Sweet Hand's urgency starts with proving just getting there wasn't enough.
I still feel like this desperation.
For two men who are well acquainted with hardship, the default solution has always been fight. For two boxers with belts and acclaim, close was never the goal.
This is what I've done my whole life. This is my destiny. This is what I feel like I was born to do.
And for those former champions who want so much more, on Saturday, March 25th in Las Vegas, they will prove that their mutual hatred is real.
This is the type of fights boxing fans want to see. 2 guys that really don't like each other going at it.
But that's because of the stakes, because of what they must prove.
He has a big fucking mouth when I'm not around.
All that rah-rah, that loud stuff. Real tough guys don't act like that.
Because there are fights that feel urgent, and fights that are.
There's a lot of emotions going into this camp. I mean, I don't like Caleb Plant, he doesn't like me. I've been waiting to beat his ass since the first day I met him. My only mission is to go in there and actually put a beating on Caleb Plant. I want to go in there and I want to make a statement for him and for everybody at 168. I feel like the only way this fight can end is in a knockout. I don't think I could be any more motivated than I am now. But you're gonna see what's gonna happen on March 25th. I got something for his ass.
Caleb Plant is in trouble. I felt it now. Let's go.
Realistically, few boxers can expect to knock out every one of their opponents. David Benavidez is rare that way. Known for his furious style, he combines a larger man's strength
And there's a left hook.
with a smaller man's speed. Wow! Undefeated in 26 professional bouts, he registered stoppages in 23 of them.
He is down!
Next up on the KO wish list, Caleb Plant.
I'm extremely prepared for this camp. You know, I've been working super hard, and I'm very excited, man. The moment that I've been waiting for my whole life is about to get here, and I'm definitely going to take advantage of that opportunity. So this is where me and my wife come to talk about our problems.
We have what we call emotional stressors, conflict stressors, relationship stressors, anxiety. If somebody has that anxiety, we can help relieve anxiety in individuals, right? Age timeline. That means we can tell from birth to now the most stressor times in your life, and we can tell you what age you were.
This is stuff that everybody needs to work on, you know. You as a boxer, you could work all day and night, but sometimes you need to rest, and then you need to work on your brain, you know, stuff like this.
I want you to sit back, close your eyes, and let's do a little bit of focus in the mind. Now just sit back. I want you to go to your nice, happy place. Really get in touch with it.
In terms of heavy weights, David Benavidez carries more than most, beginning with a rough childhood. He comes from a fighting family, one started by Jose Sr., who ruled with an iron fist, pushing his two sons, including his namesake, into boxing as early as possible.
Before I even knew that I wanted to be a boxer, my dad had already put me in boxing. I think we started in our garage. I was 2 years old, and I just basically mimicked my brother and tried to do everything he would do. And then as time went on, I started falling in love with the sport of boxing.
The Fighting Benavidez boys flashed immediate promise. First, Jose Jr. won 11 national titles, while setting a record for the youngest Golden Gloves champion at only 16. His younger brother carried heavy and literal weight back then. As a middle schooler, David ballooned to 260 pounds through a diet heavy on soft drinks and fast food.
When I was younger, I was the fatter kid, and I wasn't really the fastest, so I had to go in there and actually earn my respect. Literally, I had to go and take it from them. Everybody would laugh at me, but when I'd get in the gym and I'd beat that ass, nobody would laugh at me ever again. Then I started sparring men that were like 200 pounds, all built. And I'd beat up big grown men when I was 13 years old. It just motivated me to another level, and I thought to myself that, you know, I really am here for a reason, and I'm not gonna let this opportunity go to waste, and I definitely will be a world champion.
With training and sweat equity, the weight melted off, and a lighter, still ferocious David earned a rare opportunity to become the youngest super middleweight champion in boxing history at only 21 years old. His beloved uncle died 2 weeks before that bout, but the Mexican monster made history.
From Phoenix, Arizona,
And honored Moses Valladares in the very same night.
David Benavidez.
It's amazing, you know, and this fight was tribute to my uncle. He passed away during my training camp, but it's a very amazing feeling. I did this for him, all my people in Phoenix, Arizona. You know, it's an amazing feeling.
For all the dominance displayed by David Benavidez, the knockouts and bruises delivered, his resume lacks but one critical element: a career-defining signature victory. Win on March 25th, and you'll have that too.
It's definitely the biggest fight of my career to this date because it's my first pay-per-view fight. It's actual bad blood between me and a fighter that I don't like. This fight is definitely going to put me on the map, and it's going to open so much doors for me, so I'm definitely taking it serious.
Growing up, I was, more of the lower income. We first started off in that trailer in a single wide, and then we moved up to a double wide. Then we finally was able to get like a little house back there on the same property. Eventually, the house got foreclosed, and We had to move. I really had nowhere to stay or nowhere to go. And I was living in like an abandoned office building. I was just daydreaming all day about boxing and, you know, the life I wanted to live. And I just knew, like, man, if this don't work out for me, then I literally have no idea what I'm going to do. So I have to make this work. And just working at it like my life depended on it, because I felt like it did. It did depend on it.
Oh no. Oh no. Get swiped. Get swiped. Get swiped. Get swiped. Get swiped. Get swiped. The way that I do it, these bitches, they pay me. All I be doing is keeping it swiping.
I'm a fighter. I'm a boxer. This is what I do. Davis, he's making it a point to let everyone know that, oh, he thinks he's a shit. I mean, yeah, I do when it comes to boxing. I feel like I'm the best. I don't feel like anybody can beat me. You tell me one great fighter who don't think he's a shit, who don't think he's good, who don't think he's the best, or that he can beat you or beat him or beat anybody in the room. This fight with David, it's something where I want to win in fashion.
Nice.
The intensity in camp shows most in training. As Plant shuttles between his boxing and home gyms, his core team always in tow.
Good job.
Plant's father, Richie, runs the sweat and sacrifice part of the operation.
Nice shot. Very crisp.
Like many a boxing dad, he guided his son from the very start. And after suffering his first pro loss 16 months ago, Caleb added a new member to his training staff.
Nice. Stay down here.
Meet Stephen Breadman Edwards.
Nice.
The man tasked with continuing Plant's boxing evolution.
Caleb might have to go to a really dark place to win this fight. You're dealing with a young, hungry kid that's getting their first shot like that. He's literally coming to try to ruin Caleb's career, end his career. You know, you're gonna have to turn him back.
For all the reasons that Caleb Plant fights for, the first marked the most primal, to be able to eat. From there, respect became important. After all, Plant is a white American boxer, and expectations within his Venn diagram tend to stay low, which just pushed the kid from the trailer park even higher.
Coming up as an amateur, you know, you hear a lot of stereotypes being, you know, tossed your way, or people telling you, you know, because you're this color or come from here that you can't be a good boxer at the top of boxing. You know, I'm from the country, I'm a Caucasian, you know, this and that.
Work, Caleb.
I hope that, you know, my life can prove, regardless of your ethnicity, your background, your religion, whatever, it doesn't matter where you're from or what you look like. You can be whatever you want.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Caleb Sweet Hands Plant.
It didn't take long for Plant to flash immense talent. His nickname owed to his speed and his technical proficiency. And only 5 years into his pro career, he won the IBF Super Middleweight Championship. Plant defended his title 3 times, rising and rising, until he landed the bout of a lifetime. A date with pound-for-pound superstar Canelo Alvarez in November of 2021. Despite a valiant effort, Plant lost to a generational talent, suffering his first pro defeat.
Losses hurt, you know? That's life, that's boxing, you know? But, you know, it works for me in a way that I can use it and propel myself forward.
Ain't gonna let you rain on my parade no more.
Undeterred, Plant needed a victory to start his climb back to the pinnacle.
It's time to let go of this charade.
Only a year later, with Breadman at his side, he was back in the ring against 2-time world champion Anthony Durrell. The savage left hook earned Plant Knockout of the Year.
yeah, I know you weren't expecting this. Clearly none of these people were either, so I'm pretty good, huh?
Six months ago, Caleb Plant and his wife Jordan welcomed their daughter Charlie into the world they're creating. The joy of adding a family member can make a man bullish about his future. Hence the urgency. Plant's latest and smallest reason to fight.
Nums. You know, what drives me is just to accomplish more. You know, I'm just trying to see how far I can get before my time expires, you know. It was a goal to become world champion, but it wasn't the goal. You know, the goal is to become, you know, multiple-time world champion, multiple weight classes, become undisputed, be on the pound-for-pound list. March 25th, I just see myself having my way, doing what I want to do, fighting hard, boxing hard, get my hand raised.
We're on sport right now. Fucking engine sounds insane, huh? And then there's another one, course. I'm gonna let you feel it real quick. You already feel it's not playing no games. Look at yeah, but it is it's easy to get a little bit out of control with this car, so I gotta tame the beast a little bit.
Boxing gave the Benavidez family far more than distinct rides. From prospects to pros to champions, Jose Sr. has shaped the family business, along with his sons. And naturally, they'll continue to expand.
So I started boxing like around 2 years old. My son is 2, so look, he's already following my footsteps. So this is the making of a great champion already. It definitely gives me the motivation I need to keep going, to be able to provide him with everything he needs to be successful in his life and in his career. You should see when he gets going, he gets the little combinations going. He's unlike anything you've ever seen. Yeah.
Good job.
He throws more combinations than me. Let me see some combinations. Go, 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 go. Oh! Combos, 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 let's go! Hey! Good job. Good job.
Good job.
Big hug. Hug. Big hug.
Should he pursue boxing, Anthony Benavidez will surely encounter obstacles. After all, Grandpa can attest to an unassailable truth. Even prodigies are human. David owns the infamous distinction of being the rare fighter to lose belts twice without dropping a bout. First, for a positive drug test.
The first time I got suspended for doing cocaine, at the time I was just a fat kid that outcast, and then you start winning, you start making money, people start coming around you, and you get invited to parties, and one thing leads to another. But I'm glad it happened when it happened. You know, I feel like I've had a lot of time to mature from that, and I really do believe that.
Weight also remains an issue. Benavidez was again stripped of his title in 2020, this time for failing to make weight. And the more critical skeptics wonder if this lingering issue isn't due to motivation, despite the knockout rate that suggests otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I still deal with it to this day. You used Caleb Plant's talking shit, saying fat boy this, fat boy that, but at the end of the day, it makes no sense. So these dudes are all cut up, they're all marked up, they don't have no fucking knockouts. And then you go to the opposite side, you got somebody that's a fat boy, supposedly. He has 26 fights and he has 23 knockouts. So you tell me who's doing it right. I don't care what people say. At the end of the day, they say I'm fat, they say I'm this, they say I'm that, they say I'm not dedicated. But at the end of the day, I'm doing my fucking job. And when I get his ass in that ring March 25th, I'm gonna break his fucking mouth. I'm gonna make him regret everything he said.
So after the fight with Darrell, I knew that it would be a viral moment, and it's really a perfect night. You know, I figured that that would be a perfect time to drop the action figure. 2022 KO of the year kind of memorabilia. Shows included. I'm just trying to expand on the merchandise past, you know, what a lot of the other people are doing and, you know, push things forward.
From in-ring action to action figures, Plant pushes to capitalize on his status and success. Moving forward after starting from behind. Still, with a career-altering fight upcoming, enjoying the rewards is also part of the plan.
So this is the shoe wall right here. Solomon Kith collab, Solomon Margiela, Solomon Hidden collab, Chrome Heart Chuck Taylors, Animal Pack 1s, Union 2s, Union 4s, Supreme 5s, 86 1s when Jordan broke his foot. Nike made him a rehab shoe to give him a little more support for his ankle. 85 Dunks, Kentucky Wildcats, Ben & Jerry's, light clothes and shoes. That's one thing that, you know, I've always been into, fashion and sneakers. There's a couple like I don't wear these. Grateful Dead. I never went too crazy, but I definitely spent a couple dollars on shoes and clothes. It's not all about the material things, obviously, but I have the things that I dreamt about as a kid. You know, I sit back sometimes and give myself a little pat on the back. Even when I had nothing, even when I owed money, I feel like I knew this day was coming, you know, where I would be in the financial situation I am, so I wanted to make sure that I was prepared for that.
Too often we hear stories of fighters who made a bunch of money and then they're 45, 50 years old and it's all gone. I just think it would be nice to kind of change the narrative for fighters where they can figure out how to make that money last and live a nice life.
Speaking of making things that last, Caleb and Jordan Plant haven't forgotten date night and all the hubbub. Middle of camp, new baby, night on the town. They hop into the 1964 Chevy Impala, a lowrider for shared sky-high ambitions from a boxing power couple since 2016.
When we first met, he didn't have much, but I didn't have much either. Not that that really matters because I'm not with Caleb for things, I'm with him because of who he is. We enjoy being around each other. That says more than just loving each other because he's my best friend.
I'm gonna do the strawberry shortcake, please. Thank you.
Jordan never treated me like some scrub. She treated me as if I was in the position I'm in now. That's a rarity. I understand that, and so I don't take that for granted.
It means a lot for people like us to have somebody like Caleb. He came up from the bottom, just like most of us here have. To see him being so successful, to still be able to keep it real and stay in tabs with the lowrider culture, the people out here, they all take notice of that.
Appreciate it, man. God bless. My dad put me in there with a multi-time national champion. My second fight when I was a little kid, I was like 9 years old. Got my butt whooped. When I first started, I was 1-4. Now I'm at the top.
I've seen where Caleb's come from and where he's at now, and he's a man of his word. He would always do what he said he was gonna do. I think it's kind of rare, and I love it.
Do your thing, man. You know, all these people got your back. You already know that, all right?
Tonight for dinner for the Plants, we've got a lovely penne curry. So instead of having to go out and grab something like this, we can still have it here in-house and let it be nutritious. Get him fuel ready for tomorrow. He's got a good run up in Mount Charleston. Sous Chef Charlie.
Don't tell Chef Nick about the ice cream. As one of the most critical members of Team Plant, the superfoods guru handles all dietary needs, which is why shortly after winning his first belt, Plant compiled a super team to ensure his continued rise. After everything, he's grateful, especially for everyone around him.
When we didn't have anyone, it was stressful, like making sure his weight was good.
You gotta do your laundry by yourself. You gotta find something to eat by yourself. You know, you're doing everything on your own. Felt like I was falling behind a little bit on that. You know, I always knew that when I got to that spot, you know, I would start to bring on these people and expand the team.
It's important for him to have a team he can trust and that is going to do the right thing on his behalf. And it's a huge commitment. I respect him as a man, and I respect the career that he's in, and I respect the training that he does to get to this level and what he has to do to stay at this level.
Tough times create hard men, right? And good times create soft men. So
the only thing worse than being poor is being poor and then getting money and then having to go back to being poor. I'm sure it's crushing, you know, and I'm doing everything that I can to prevent me, my wife, Charlie, my dad, and everyone else who works with us from having to go back to that.
it's hard enough to get there, but it's another have to stay there, you know, so you gotta continue to do more and improve.
As Richie says, it's simple, but it ain't easy.
That's right.
Oh, Father, tell me we get what we deserve.
I want to be a form of motivation from anybody because it's hard out there. The world is not easy. I came from somewhere where, you know, there's not too much opportunities. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and I really do believe that.
And where down we go, 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 go. Oh, where down we go, 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 go. So where down.
For two former world champions, urgency starts with a simple and complicated question. What price are they willing to pay?
Easy work. Let's go.
Whoa, you let your feet run wild.
In order to fight back to the pinnacle and settle a beef, they must not simply sacrifice, but endure the inevitable and acute pain sewn into their clash ahead.
'Cause they will run you down till you fall.
This is the biggest fight of my life, so I'm laying it all out on the line. I pushed harder this camp than any camp I've ever been in. I'm feeling supremely confident going in. I'm feeling good. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm ready to get in there.
And where down we go.
The fighter known as Sweet Hands long ago left the trailer park behind. His story is resilience personified. But to again reach the heights he once ascended, that resilience means taking the most dangerous route, the one he chose.
I've been at the top of the division for some years now. Experience plays a major part in this game. You got to go through the fire to get it, and I've done that.
Oh, way down we go.
David, the Mexican monster Benavidez, can relate. He too endured turbulence, violence, loss. He too transformed, elevated, triumphed.
By the time I'm done boxing, I just want to be the greatest of my generation. You know, I mean, I'm made for this.
Only his hands are heavy these days. He too is willing to pay the violence tax.
I really am here for a reason, and I'm not going to let this opportunity go to waste.
One levied shortly by Caleb Plant.
I'm looking to continue to just pick one top super middleweight off at a time until they're all gone. Come March 25th, I plan on submitting myself as that guy.
The stars are aligned and everything is happening in a perfect sequence. I'm gonna go in there and try to inflict as much damage as possible.
And so on Saturday, March 25th in Las Vegas, both fighters will seek to answer the same question. What would they pay for what they desire? The answer, either way, is anything. On Saturday, March 25th, David the Mexican Monster Benavidez will meet Caleb Sweet Hands Plant, only on pay-per-view.
Let's go. Load up the truck with all your bad friends. Push your luck, let's see what happens. What you scared of? You know what to do. Just be yourself.